d sub y is the same as the original matrix, except we cover the y column with 3, 1, 1. The z column is the same as it was, negative 2, 2, negative 1. So copying the first two columns, 2, 6, 4, 3, 1, 1. We can begin this process of multiplying down diagonals. 2 times 1 times negative 1 is negative 2. 3 times 2 times 4 is 24. And negative 2 times 6 times 1 is negative 12. And then we subtract what we get multiplying down the diagonals in the opposite direction. So we have 4 times 1 times negative 2 is negative 8. We have 1 times 2, which is 4. And we have negative 1 times 6 times 3, which is negative 18. Okay, here, so 24 take away 12 is 12, and 12 minus 2 is 10, so this is 10. And in the parentheses here, we have negative 4 minus 18 is negative 14. Negative 14, negative 8 is negative 22. So here we go, 10 minus a minus 22 is 10 plus 22 is 32. So that's our d sub y. D sub y is 32, and our d is equal to negative 40, so y is equal to d sub y divided by d. D sub y we just found was 32, d was negative 40, and so a positive divided by a negative is a negative. And let's see, how much can we cancel it? 4 goes into 32 8 times, and 4 goes into 40 10 times. And we can reduce it further. 2 goes into 8 4 times, and 2 goes into 10 5 times. So the y-coordinate of the point of intersection is negative 4/5, and we can add negative 4/5 up here to our solution point. We have one more coordinate to find, and now we're going to do it. We'll find d sub z, and then z will be d sub z divided by d. Okay, so d sub z. It's the same as the original matrix in terms of the x and y columns, but over the z column we replace the z column with 3, 1, 1. So here's the z column, now it's 3, 1, 1. Copy the first two columns to the right, so it's 2, 6, 4, 1, negative 1, 3. And now we begin this diagonal multiplication process. 2 times negative 1 times 1 is negative 2. 1 times 1 times 4 is 4. And 3 times 6 times 3 is 54. Then we subtract the product going the other way. So we have 4 times negative 1 times 3 is negative 12. And over here we have 3 times 1 times 2, which is just 6. And finally the last diagonal, 1 times 6 times 1 is 6. So adding this all up, so we have negative 2 plus 4 is 2, 2 plus 54 is 56. And in the parentheses here you got negative 12 and a positive 12, so that adds up to 0. So 56 is equal to d sub z. Now we can find what z is by dividing d sub z over d, And d sub z is 56, and d is negative 40. And let's see. That's the same as 28, negative 28 over 20, or negative 14 over 10, or negative 7/5. So the z-coordinate of our point of intersection of these three planes is negative 7/5. And we can add that final coordinate to our point of intersection of these three planes, the solution to this linear system.